Our top lead this evening, Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation. It is not just India's richest civic body, but it is also one of the wealthiest in Asia. Its budget is more than the budget of 5 smaller states in India put together. Some 56,000 crore rupees or so. So, to cut a long story short, it's rich. And it's rich because the citizens of Mumbai are the highest taxpayers in this country. The BMC is entrusted with the maintenance of Mumbai, the country's financial capital. But the cash-rich civic body has been without elected corporators for nearly 2 years now. It is running in administrative mode because the matter of elections is currently in court. Now, in the absence of corporators, 36 MLAs of Mumbai have been tasked with running the city. So the corporators are supposed to run it. Mumbai doesn't have corporators because elections have not been held for the last 2 years. And therefore, the MLAs have been told, you need to address day-to-day problems of citizens in your constituency. Now, since the city was going to the dogs, it was decided, let's give money to these MLAs to beautify, develop, or repair infrastructure in their constituencies. So the BMC on February 16th last year passed a resolution saying that these legislators, 36 of them, would receive funds to ensure there is no roadblock in any development work in the city. So far, so good, not a bad idea. That is still the Indian Express published a report this morning on their front page. Their expose via an RTI was shocking to say the least. Shocking, but not surprising. The RTI revealed that the BMC purse opened, it did open, but it opened only for MLAs of the ruling coalition, which is the BJP and the Shiv Sena. And so between February and December 2023, 21 of their Mumbai MLAs sought funds from the civic body and got it in no time at all. They got a total of 500 crore rupees. Let me repeat that. 21 MLAs from the ruling coalition got 500 crore rupees. Now, question is, how much did opposition MLAs get? Hold your breath. Zero. I'm going to spell it out. Z-E-R-O. I'm not kidding. 15 opposition MLAs from the Shiv Sena UBT, from the Congress, even from the Samajwadi Party, had asked for funds for their constituencies as well, just like MLAs from the ruling party had. In 1 year, they got nothing, not a single rupee. Out of 1,260 crore rupees set aside in the BMC budget for this specific purpose, the opposition did not get a single penny. The ruling dispensation got 500 crores. So basically, if you're in power, you will get the money, no questions asked. If you're in the opposition, you will get nothing, no questions asked, no answers answered. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't particularly care about politicians, either from this side or the other. But this is not about politicians. This is about you, the citizen. You pay taxes. Should the services and infrastructure you deserve become victim to this low-level politics? Think of it. How is it okay that drains in Malabar Hill will be fixed and parks in Dadar will be beautified, but Dharavi and Jogeshwari will be allowed to rot just because their MLA is in the opposition? Is the Maharashtra government and the BMC making people pay for their voting choices? Is that what is happening? Mumbai has 2 guardian ministers who are the approval authority for these funds. Are Mangal Prabhat Lodha and Deepak Keskar telling us that they are guardian ministers only for those parts of Mumbai that have elected a BJP or a Shiv Sena MLA? Have they forgotten that this money is for the people of Mumbai and not its politicians? It took exactly a week, ladies and gentlemen, for Mr. Lodha to get funds cleared for himself. It was the same case with 20 other MLAs of the ruling coalition. But the MLAs of the opposition say they have been waiting for a year, they have got nothing. Listen in.
मेरा सवाल ये है कि उन्होंने लगभग 500 करोड़ का बजट रखा और सभी एमएलएस को इक्वल देने की बात की, लेकिन जहां सत्ता के एमएलए वहां उनको दिया बीजेपी और एकनाथ शिंदे ग्रुप को, लेकिन जो विरोधी पक्ष के आमदार है उनको एक भी रुपया नहीं दिया। सबसे बड़ा सवाल मेरा यह है कि हम भी लोगों में से चुन के आते हैं, 3 से 4 लाख लोग हमारे लिए वोट करते हैं, हमारी भी जनता है, और ये पैसा सरकार का पैसा नहीं है, ये पैसा मुंबईकर का पैसा है। मुंबईकर के जो है ये टैक्स में से आया हुआ पैसा है, तो सरकार को कोई अधिकार नहीं था ये पैसे का डिसीजन लेना। लेकिन एकनाथ शिंदे जी को जो था विरोधी पक्ष के आमदारों को पैसा देना ही नहीं था, तो उन्होंने डायरेक्टली जो है कमिश्नर को बोल दिया कि नहीं देना, और गार्डियन मिनिस्टर ने भी हमको कुछ नहीं दिया। लेकिन दुर्भाग्यवश ये जो फंड था ये पूरी तरह से पार्टी को देखा गया, और मेरा यह कहना है कि इस फंड की इंक्वायरी होनी चाहिए कि जो खर्च हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है, क्योंकि ये जो फंड खर्च हुआ है ये कई जगह पे खर्च ही नहीं हुआ, ये हमारा दावा है।
ये पूरे फंड्स के बारे में राजनीति कर रहे हैं। आदरणीय शिवसेना पक्ष प्रमुख उद्धव जी के प्रति द्वेषपूर्ण राजनीति खेल रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये निधि जो है ये पब्लिक का निधि है। मुंबई महानगर पालिका के आयुक्त ने एक पत्र लिखा था हमें कि आपके प्रभाग में जो अलग अलग प्रभाग आते हैं उनके नागरिक सुविधा के लिए जो प्रस्ताव होगा वो आप भेजिए। हमने वो आयुक्त के पास भेजे। वारंवार पालक मंत्री से जब भी मुलाकात हुई मैंने उनको विनती की है कि मेरे मतदार संघ में नागरिक सुविधा के लिए निधि की जरूरत है, आप दीजिए मुंबई महानगर पालिका के माध्यम से, लेकिन वो हंसते हैं, करते कुछ भी नहीं।
Now, we requested the BMC Commissioner Iqbal Chahal for a reaction. He told our reporters he doesn't speak to the press. Mumbai's Guardian minister said they were busy in a funeral. But in a quote to the Indian Express, they say that all requests which had merit in them have been accepted. Let me go straight across to Shiv Sena Uddhav camp MP Priyanka Chaturvedi, who's now joining us on the broadcast. Priyanka Chaturvedi, thank you very much for your time here at Mirror Now. Can I start by asking you, all of us have seen the report, the RTI report in the Indian Express. My point is this: people will look at the report and say, ye to hona hi tha, given how acrimonious the relationship between the government and the opposition in Maharashtra is right now, where in the last 18 months, 180 MLAs have switched sides. This was bound to happen. Why are we surprised? This is politics.
No, I think there are two major factors here. One, that there is no accountability happening in the BMC. We must realize that BMC budget is bigger than 5 state budgets of this country, and it comes with a certain sense of responsibility. It's been over 2 years, there's been no elected corporator. What is happening in the BMC, and that is the larger problem, that between the BMC chief and 2 guardian ministers, they are deciding how funds should be allocated. Now, in the city of Mumbai, even if you are acrimonious, even if there are political problems, political issues, you can't use funds paid by the taxpayers of Mumbai for your politics, for your personal politics, and that is the unfortunate part. In this particular case, over 500 crores have been distributed out of the 36 MLAs that are, elected from Mumbai. 21 get it because they are with a certain political party and have formed the government. How does that work? And should beautification of Mumbai happen only in selected areas? Are these people who are being denied, these MLAs who are being denied funds, do their constituents not pay tax to the BMC? Don't they deserve facilities? So doing politics over public money, I think extremely shameful, low level, and without accountability too, because there are no elected corporators, there's no standing committee, there's no books of accounts which is being checked. So that is, I think, the larger problem. And whether we should look at it from the political perspective, more than political perspective, I'm speaking from the perspective of public money being used for gaining political mileage.
Now, there has been some concern expressed in some quarters that
corruption by saying, okay, if you come on our side, we will give you funds. But that's what are you depriving? Forget the MLA. You're depriving an assembly, constituency of funds just because you have political points to score and political wheeler dealership to continue. And this is something that the BJP's project has begun right from breaking our government. Every single MLA which switched to the other side was known as the Pannas Khoke gang member. So what they're doing is, instead of handing over cash, they're doing it via the contract lobby and giving them the funds to do what they want to do. And those funds are not coming from the pockets or treasury department of the Bharatiya Janata Party or the Shinde Sena. It is coming from public taxpayers' money, the BMC. And that, I think, should be a cause of concern. Who stays, who goes due to this kind of political maneuvering and corruption is a secondary. What is important is that you're officiating corruption without even caring about public money.
Would you say that the BMC's silence on the matter, the two Guardian ministers' silence on the matter is telling as well? Because we've tried to reach out to them for a reaction and we've got none.
To say is that they stand exposed today. People of the city, people of the state know how this government is hardly functioning for them. It's functioning to fill their own pockets. And here you have a Prime Minister screaming from the Red Fort that, oh, there can be no zero tolerance to corruption. And he's allowing this open loot of public money. And I think that is why these two haven't reacted, because they've been caught with their hands in the till. So this is the problem. And I think it's shameful for someone who is the BMC chief, and I say it with, total responsibility, that you hold a profile as a bureaucrat to maintain the oath you've taken to your job. And by not even raising an alarm or raising a word of caution and allowing such funds to just go from the BMC treasury, I think is a big blot on someone who has done exceedingly well during the COVID period. And it clearly becomes very obvious that you are willing to bow down to the whims and fancies of those who are in government. That is unfortunate.
Priyanka Chaturvedi, we'll leave it there for the moment. Let's see how the story develops. Thank you very much for joining us. My guest this evening, Krishna Hegde, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena, joining us on the broadcast. Clyde Crasto is spokesperson of the NCP, joining us on the broadcast. And Rohit Chandrabarkar is a senior journalist with us on the broadcast as well. Mr. Hegde, I'm going to come to you first for obvious reasons. What possibly can be the explanation that in the past 1 year, your MLAs, 21 of them in Mumbai, have got 500 crores to beautify, repair, develop their assembly constituencies, but the opposition MLAs have not? What explains this? What is a logical explanation?
Shreya, firstly, we have this, secondly, it is very easy to be the spokesperson said, but when the Uddhav Thackeray government was in power, the opposition were crying that they didn't have any funds. And when the Crown Congress was in power, the opposition parties were again crying that they didn't have any funds. And therefore, now it comes to them, they are crying now. And since the last 1.5 years, they have only been crying and complaining and accusing and nothing else. And when they did have their government, it was called the Vasuli Sarkar. And when they had funds in COVID, that the CAG had misuse of funds of around 12,000 crores in the Uddhav Thackeray regime and a corruption of around 4,200 crores only in CAG. So was it not taxpayers' money, like Priyanka Chaturvedi was saying? Of course, it was taxpayers' money. So when we are spending money, we are spending it for the taxpayers. We are spending it for the development and beautification of Mumbai. We are spending it for the, development of Mumbai and its infrastructure. Today, the roads, flyovers, bridges, MTHL, so many, the metro,
Mr. Hegde,
and so many projects which are on in
logic,
Mumbai, almost 400,000 crores worth of projects in Mumbai.
Mr. Hegde,
And
then by that
when they
logic,
do
are
not
you
get the
telling me,
funds,
what are you telling me? Mr. Hegde, you're telling me two things then. You're telling me, unhone humko nahi diya, to hum unko nahi denge. First of all, that's what you're telling me. Secondly, you're telling me, of course, we know this is taxpayers' money and we are delivering the services. But ek minute, Mr. Hegde, but those But what are you trying to tell me? That only people in Malabar Hill pay taxes? And people in Dharavi and Jogeshwari don't
No,
pay
no, I am not
taxes?
saying that. What I am
Therefore,
trying to
people in
say is,
Malabar Hill who have elected a BJP slash Shiv Sena MLA will get services, but people in Jogeshwari and Dharavi will not get. Tax तो सब देते हैं ना? तो cheating
no, no,
क्यों?
why will they not get? I think all the infrastructure projects in Mumbai which
They've
are
not
going on
got.
for is for not only
They've
for
not
Mumbai,
got, na?
but people who come. There is nothing that this is only for Mumbai. Yes, as far as MLAs are concerned, who are in Mumbai today, since the last 2 years, there are no corporators in the house, and the Mumbai's MLAs being the elected representatives, they have absolute right to spend the money for the taxpayer and give him the benefits. And secondly, four of these 11 or 15 opposition MLAs have not even asked for funds. Where have they asked for funds? If you're going to ask for funds and the funds are coming out from BMC, it is coming from
Of course
the
they've asked for
development,
funds.
district planning development authority.
Of course
And
they've asked for
obviously,
funds.
if you are in the ruling party, and yeah,
11 of those
say I
MLAs
can't hear you.
have written applications showing that they have asked for funds not once but over and over again. Some of them have even approached
No, no,
the chief minister of the state.
11,
Those funds in the
11
last 1
MLAs
year have
have,
not come.
no, no,
Anyhow, let Clyde respond. So they have, right? 11 MLAs have asked for funds. Have they got even a single penny in the last 1 year? No. How much money have your MLAs got? 500 crore rupees. So 500 crore rupees on one side and 0 rupees on the other side. The story is here, between 500 and 0. Clyde, would you want to come in? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Shreya, I'm just going to do it in two parts, okay? The first part, I want to make it very clear to you and your viewers who are watching this whole program, right? Right from the beginning, from February 2023, this is a very well thought out mechanism. After the budget was announced, the BMC budget, sometime in February it was announced. 16th of February, they come out with a policy that now, never in the history of BMC, funds will be given to the MLAs to take care of their constituency. After that was done, the guardian ministers, again never in the history of BMC, opened the offices in the Bombay Municipal Corporation. After that, ex-corporators from the BJP were allowed to sit there. All the other offices of all other political parties were shut, locked. Only the BJP corporators were allowed to sit in this guardian minister's office. Now they were working, so the people who come to meet them, they think that only BJP is helping them. Then the municipal commissioner of Mumbai appointed a conduit between these corporators, these guardian ministers, and the assistant municipal commissioners who will assist them to make sure that their work is being done. Then these funds were given to these people. This whole thought out process was done only to work for the BJP. And if there is anybody complaining about scams, cash report and all, a lot of these people who have gone to the Eknath Shinde side were actually in the original Shiv Sena, including the chief minister. So if you're talking about what has happened before, you are equally part of this whole issue. But this whole thing was only thought out, only planned so that the people from the BJP, the corporators, the MLAs can do work for the city. But let me tell you one thing. Now, the second part that I'm trying to explain to you. You spoke about Mangal Prabhat Loda. You spoke about Malabar Hill. I live in Malabar Hill. I live right next to the governor's house. I haven't seen my corporator in the last probably 3 to 4 years. We every day wake up in the morning. I know the name of the sweeper in my lane. I know the people who clean the drainage, the sewage. We are the ones who are working for it. Where are these corporators? Where is the upgrading of Mumbai? We don't see it anywhere. I haven't seen my MLA for the longest of time. He's the minister, he's the guardian minister, but what is he guarding? We do not know. The point is, at the end of the day, I'm a spokesperson of a political party. I will go to town talking about another political party. But that's not what I want to do. I'm a Mumbaiker at the end of the day. Every Mumbaiker is tax paying, they are suffering. Their work should be done across all parties. So if BJP corporators are allowed to sit in the BMC, if BJP MLAs are being given the fund, why not other corporators from other parties and MLAs? Because at the end of the day, it's not you or me who's suffering in the political party. It's the common Mumbaiker, including me, who drives on this road, walks on this road, is suffering. So I think whoever they are, whether these MLAs, Mr. Iqbal Chahal has a lot of answering to do. You said that when they asked Mr. Iqbal Chahal, he said, I do not speak to the media. I can give you a lot of clips where he's speaking to the media. But when the right questions need to be asked, he's not there. And for 2 years, we have not had the elections.
Well, I
We have
hope
an
Mr.
administrator
Chahal
as Mr.
does
Iqbal
step out
Chahal.
and
What is
break
he
his
doing?
silence because he has a lot to answer.
He has to break his
No,
silence.
Clyde,
He
I
has
agree
to
with
come
you.
out and
Mr.
answer
Chahal
the
has a
question.
lot to answer. You can't say that it is the doing of the two guardian ministers, that they are playing politics. This is your fund. BMC, you are the guardian of the BMC and the 56,000 crore rupees in the BMC. This is the taxpayers' money. You are the guardian of this money. Are you letting this money be squandered for political gains? That is a question that Mr. Chahal has to answer. He's on our screens right now. He has chosen to keep silent on the matter. Farhan Azmi, you are a Mumbai citizen, you're an entrepreneur, but you are also Abu Azmi's son, who is an MLA from the Samajwadi Party in Mumbai. Now, Mr. Hegde is telling me, kahan diya in sabne chitti? Mangenge tab denge na. Sabne to, most of these people didn't even ask. So I want to ask you, did your father ask for funds? And what was the response and what was his experience? And as then a Mumbaiker, do you feel cheated with what is happening?
I mean, firstly, thank you for having me here. And I'd like to clarify, I'm not here as my father's son or talking about my father as the MLA. I'm here as a Mumbaikar and I'm here at my workplace and I can see the entire city and all I can see is smoke. You know, all I can see is pollution. All I can see here is like car horns. And that's what an armed Mumbaikar goes through. So I'm here as a Mumbaikar, and I think now to answer the question that if Mr. Abu Azmi ji has asked for funds, yes, of course, it's on record. He has asked for funds, but he's never got the funds. Not just Abu Azmi ji, but there are many opposition representatives of the public who've been elected, you know, to take care of people and are being denied funds because they belong to the opposition representation. And I think this is, you know, they've been caught here. This investigation, this guy, this journalist should be awarded. You know, he's got guts to reveal all these things. The height of corruption that Mumbai went through during COVID is all gone. Where's the investigation? What happened that time? Nobody knows. It's all being hidden. The representatives have been told to go home. Corporators are sitting at home and getting galis, literally. You know, we have a lot of friends who are corporators. I come from a political family. I know what's going down on the ground. And it's really, really, really sad that आम आदमी और गरीब आदमी की तो ऐसी हालत हो गई है. अभी A ward में तो उतने फंड की जरूरत भी नहीं है, but A ward's gotten so much fund because of G20. You know, we've had the best of the best people. But just around the corner, आप कूपरेज के पास जाके देखिए, उस रोड को कम से कम 12 बार बना चुके हैं ऑन रिकॉर्ड पिछले 5 सालों में, और आज धज्जियां उड़ी हुई है उस रोडों की. And अभी उस पर से G20 पे प्रधानमंत्री वहीं से गए थे कोलाबा से. So all I'm saying is that corruption is the main problem. And intimidation and influencing, obviously, क्योंकि अब अगर कॉर्पोरेटर्स नहीं रहे तो इन्फ्लुएंस जो आम जनता के साथ एक नस जुड़ी होती है पॉलिटिकल पार्टी की, वो कॉर्पोरेटर होता है. अब कॉर्पोरेटर को घर बैठा दिया है. यू आर एम्पावरिंग द एमएलएज. उन्हीं एमएलएज को जो आपके साथ होंगे, आपके झंडे के तले होंगे. अब झंडा भी इधर उधर का सब मिल करके एक सरकार चल रही है. सो इट्स शेमफुल, इट्स एम्बैरेसिंग दैट मुंबईकर्स हैव टू गो थ्रू दिस. And I think it's high time an investigation should be, you know, taken place under the Chief Minister Eknath Shinde ji and Mr. Fadnavis to reveal, you know, where are our funds going? How is everything just evaporating and we don't see development? Development तो हो रहा है. I'll congratulate कि bridge बन गया, world class bridge, amazing. But इसके पहले भी एक bridge बना था, you know, जिसपे कई हजार करोड़ लग गए और कई साल लग गए बनने में. उसका हमको पता नहीं चला क्या हुआ. What action? So I feel, you know, we are at a loss as a Mumbaikar. And as a son, all I can say of my father that yes, उन्होंने फंड मांगा था and उनको नहीं दिया गया.
So Rohit Chandravarkar, the RTI, I mean, kudos to the Indian Express. I think one needs to give credit where it is due. This is the Indian Express report. This is an
Definitely.
RTI investigation that they did, and it's on the front pages of you know, national dailies. It's front page news, not just in Mumbai, but it's front page news in Delhi, and with good reason. Because it tells you how politics in this country works. That even money that is for the taxpayer is actually ends up becoming a political tool in the hands of politicians.
Yes, 2 points, Shreya. I'm really thrilled and happy that you know, the print product that you mentioned, that product as well as you have taken up this issue today related to taxes and how money is spent, etc. More of this type has to be done by the media as well as alert citizens. Citizens have to focus, citizens organizations have to focus on where the taxes go, where the taxes come from, and how they are spent. That will solve the problem to some extent. That is part one. Part two is that, this kind of a pattern has remained in place for a long time, that some of the MLAs from the ruling side will get more funds and others will not. In fact, that was the reason why all these MLAs from Uddhav Thackeray group walked away, because they said Ajit Pawar, finance minister at that time, was not giving them enough funds. So distribution of funds has always been a bone of contention for a long time. But now you see that it is reaching extreme levels where the opposition MLAs are being given zero. That is what we have to highlight. That's an extreme that we should observe. And the solution to this is that citizens should not focus only on emotional issues of naming and renaming certain places and bridges and airports, and caste issues or religious issues or all these things, because these issues are used by politicians to divert attention. End of the day, everything is about money. The politicians thrive on the money that they make, and they use those funds to get re-elected, etc. And the citizens and the media has to be more alert, focusing on these issues instead of getting into emotional issues. Now, I think somebody mentioned about the MTHL, the Mumbai Trans Harbour Link. How good work is done. So we have to also understand that bridge has been built with a loan that came from a Japanese bank. This is not our taxpayers' money, and we are, as citizens of Mumbai or any other place, we are paying through our nose, that toll that is being charged for that bridge. So we are paying separately for that bridge. We are paying separately for the Pune Expressway or for the Bandra-Worli link and many other roads. So those should not be shown as something which can be exhibited as an achievement by the ruling party, and tell taxpayers that, look, your tax is being used for this. No, our tax is not being used for this. Our tax is being diverted to politicians, and we are paying separately for the use of all these bridges and highways and all of that, and we are paying everywhere, even at the airport, or parking at the airport, all other things, including medical expenses, medical insurance, and all of that is coming from private funds, which we are spending on. So the citizens, I'm saying the last point is citizens and organizations of citizens, alert citizens, have to be more alert about these financial matters, especially the money that goes as tax to the municipal corporation or state government or central government, and be more vigilant and ask for transparency. I think what is missing here is the transparency from the local self-government body or the state government or the central government, in terms of telling the citizens about how much money was collected last year and how it was spent on various projects and other things. So I think that sums it up. More alertness among the citizens about financial issues, and transparency from the government side.
Yeah. That's the point. But if there is no transparency from the government side, it's the role of the fourth estate, the press, to tell the people what is going on. Unfortunately, we simply don't seem... I think we've just forgotten why we originally became journalists, what the role of journalism and what the job of journalists is. Krishna Hegde, I have exactly 20 seconds. My producer is telling me to wrap the show. There are developments happening in Jharkhand as well, but I want to ask you this. Mr. Hegde, you've heard everyone. I want to ask you if Mumbai's guardian ministers and your government have forgotten who this money belongs to. ये जो BMC का पैसा है, किसका पैसा है? ये जो 1200 crore रुपए that have been allocated for the 36 MLAs of Mumbai, whose money is it? I hope you're not mistaking yourselves into believing that this money is yours, the politicians' money that can be distributed to politicians. This money is ours, right? This money belongs to the citizens of Mumbai. How have you decided? It is for you to decide who you will give money to and who you will not give money to. Because in the end, you will give money to one section of Mumbai, but you will end up ignoring the other section. And everyone pays taxes, not just one section.
Shreya, this is the taxpayers' money and we are spending it for the taxpayers. And the people who are complaining, just ask them what they did 1.5 years ago. Weren't we complaining?
Okay.
But I'm not getting into it. Everyone will get his due. The Mumbaikar will get his due. Sir, this is the government which works for the people.
I have to
and this is not a government like Uddhav Thackeray's government. which sits at
Mr.
home and does
Hegde,
no
Mr.
work from
Hegde,
home.
I have to wrap the